Most men believe that once a woman has moved on, she is gone for good. They assume that her silence, her distance, and her coldness mean that she has completely erased them from her mind and her heart. They think they have become nothing more than a deleted contact, a closed chapter, a mistake she has chosen to forget. But here is what most men do not know. The human mind does not forget people the way we think it does, especially not someone who made her feel something real. Even if she acts like he never existed, even if she is cold when they run into each other, even if she has told everyone she is over it, the psychology of memory and attachment tells a very different story. There are signs, subtle, psychological, and impossible to fake, that reveal she is still thinking about him. In fact, there is one thing women do that is so unconscious, so revealing, that it basically proves she has been replaying their conversations in her head like a movie she cannot stop watching. And if a man knows what to look for, he will realize something powerful. He is not gone from her world. He is living in her head. But here is the catch. Most men see these signs every single day and completely misread them. They think she is being distant when actually she is obsessing. There is a scientific reason why the more she ignores him, the more he is actually consuming her thoughts. It sounds backwards, but it is true. The mind is a strange and contradictory thing. When we try to suppress a thought, we actually strengthen it. This is called thought suppression, and it backfires every single time. When she tells herself, "I am not going to think about him," her brain does the opposite. It marks him as important, as unfinished business, as something that needs to be processed. Harvard researchers found that trying not to think about someone actually makes you think about them 3 to 4 times more often. Every time she tells herself to forget him, her brain is literally forcing her to remember him, which means her silence might be the loudest confession she is never making. Studies show that when someone actively avoids your social media, avoids places you might be, avoids even saying your name, that is not indifference. That is active resistance, and you only resist what still has power over you. Think about it. When was the last time you went out of your way to avoid someone you truly did not care about? Never, because they do not even register. The philosopher Epictetus taught that we are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them. When a woman goes quiet, it is not always closure. Sometimes it is self-protection. She is creating distance because the feelings are still there and she does not want to deal with them. So before any man assumes she has forgotten him, he needs to know about the signs that prove otherwise. The first sign is the digital footprint she leaves behind. She is not reaching out directly, but she is watching his Instagram stories, viewed within the first hour. But here is what is revealing. Check the timestamp. Is she viewing them late at night or early in the morning? That is not casual browsing. That is insomnia driven by overthinking. She is checking his LinkedIn profile, his mutual friends, asking about him in the most casual way possible. Oh, how is he doing? Just curious. Social media platforms track not just if someone views a profile, but how often and how long they stay. If she is checking his page multiple times a week, spending minutes scrolling through his photos, that is not casual. That is compulsive. This is the digital version of driving past his house. She is monitoring his life without admitting she cares. But here is what makes this really interesting. She is not just watching randomly. There is a pattern. She checks right after posting something herself, or late at night, or right after she knows he has been online. Why does this happen? Because curiosity is emotional interest in disguise. If he truly did not matter, she would not waste a second checking up on him. And if she is viewing his stories but not the stories of other guys she used to date, he is in a category by himself. But here is the key. She will not engage directly. That would expose her. So she stays in the shadows, watching, wondering, keeping tabs. If a man notices this pattern, he needs to understand what it means. He is still occupying space in her mental real estate. The second sign is her response time when he reaches out. When he does reach out, she does not ignore him, but she does not reply right away either. 2 hours, 5 hours, sometimes a full day. And when she does respond, it is short, controlled, like she is editing every word. Here is what most guys think. She is not interested. She is being polite. Wrong. Immediate responses show indifference. It means he is just another notification. But calculated delays, that is emotional management. She is thinking about what to say, how to sound, whether to seem too available or too distant. Psychologists have studied response patterns in romantic communication and found that when someone delays a response to a specific person but responds quickly to others, that person is emotionally significant, not irrelevant. If she truly did not care, she would reply instantly without a second thought or not reply at all. The fact that she is taking time means he is triggering something. But there is one specific response pattern that reveals even more. If she sends long messages when she finally replies, but took hours to send them, she wrote, deleted, rewrote, and overthought every word. That is not indifference. That is someone who cares too much about how they come across to him. And here is something that happens constantly. If her replies are shorter late at night, but longer during the day, she is fighting the urge to be vulnerable with him when her guard is down. Nighttime is when emotions peak. Daytime is when logic takes over. If she is giving him different energy at different times of day, he is living in two parts of her brain. The philosopher Seneca wrote that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. When a woman delays her response, she is suffering in her imagination, worrying about how she will be perceived, and that worry is proof that he still matters. The third sign is when her name for him slips into conversations with other people. This one is subtle. He is not even talking to her directly, but through mutual friends he hears something. She mentioned him the other day. She asked if he is seeing anyone. She brought up that thing they used to do. Why is she talking about him when he is not even in the room? Psychologists call this intrusive recollection. It is when memories of someone pop into the mind uninvited and then slip out in conversation without any planning. Why does this happen? Because he is leaking into her conversations. She cannot help it. When someone is truly forgotten, they do not come up. They are gone from the narrative. But when someone is still in her thoughts, they slip out in random moments. A song reminds her of him, a place, a joke, and suddenly his name is in her mouth. This is one of the strongest indicators because it is unintentional. It is her subconscious showing what her conscious mind is trying to hide. Pay attention to when she brings him up. Is it when she is talking about relationships, about what she wants, about past memories? If she is inserting him into conversations about her future or her standards, he is not just a memory. He is a blueprint. And if mutual friends tell him she gets defensive when they ask about him, that is not disinterest. That is emotional protection. People only get defensive about topics that make them vulnerable. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When a woman's thoughts are colored by memories of him, she cannot help but let those colors leak into her conversations. The fourth sign is how her social media habits shift. She starts posting more frequently, sharing things she knows he will see, things that might make him wonder. Maybe she posts a photo that reminds him of a place they used to go together. Maybe she shares a song lyric that feels like it is directed at him. Maybe she starts posting about how happy she is, how she is living her best life, but the timing always seems to coincide with when he is most likely to be scrolling. This is not coincidence, it is performance. She is curating an image of herself for his consumption. She wants him to see what he is missing. She wants him to wonder if she has moved on, if she is happier without him. But here is the truth. When someone is truly over you, they do not need to prove it to you. They do not need to post about it. They just live their life. The fact that she is performing for him means she is still thinking about him, still wondering what he thinks, still hoping he notices. The philosopher Epictetus taught that we should not seek to have events happen as we wish, but to wish them to happen as they do happen. When a woman posts performative content, she is trying to control how he perceives her, and that effort is proof that he still has power over her emotions. The fifth sign is when she brings up old memories unprompted. She might send a message that references something they did together months ago. She might mention a joke they shared, a place they went, a moment that felt significant. This is not random. It is her trying to reopen the connection without admitting she wants to. She is testing the waters, seeing if he remembers too, seeing if he still feels the same way. When someone is truly over you, they do not bring up old memories. They do not want to revisit the past. They want to move forward. But if she is reaching back into their shared history, it means she is still holding on to something. She is not ready to let go. And when she does this, it is an invitation. She is giving him an opening, hoping he will walk through it. The philosopher Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, taught that the goal of life is to live in agreement with nature, and it is human nature to hold on to what matters, to revisit what was meaningful, to reach for what was lost. When a woman reaches back into the past, she is acting in agreement with that nature. The sixth sign is when she gets emotional when he is mentioned. This is the sign that relationship therapists use to determine if someone has truly moved on or if they are still emotionally attached. When he comes up in conversation, does she react calmly or does she show signs of distress? Does she get defensive, angry, sad, or dismissive? These reactions are not signs of indifference. They are signs of unresolved emotion. People who are truly over someone do not get emotional when that person is mentioned. They feel neutral. They feel nothing. But when there is still attachment, the mention of his name triggers a physiological response. The heart rate increases. The body tenses. The voice shifts. This is the body speaking what the mind is trying to hide. The philosopher Cleanthes, who succeeded Zeno as the head of the Stoic school, wrote that the fates guide the willing, but drag the unwilling. When a woman gets emotional at the mention of his name, she is being dragged by her unresolved feelings. She cannot control the reaction because the feelings are still there. The seventh sign is the most revealing of all. She compares every new man she meets to him. She might not say it out loud, but she is doing it. She is measuring every new potential partner against the standard he set. Does he make her laugh the way he did? Does he listen the way he did? Does he make her feel the way he did? And when they fall short, she loses interest. This is why so many women struggle to move on after a significant relationship. They are not just looking for a new partner. They are looking for a replica of what they had. And when they cannot find it, they remain stuck. If she is doing this, it proves that he has become an impossible standard in her mind. He is not just a memory. He is a benchmark. The philosopher Musonius Rufus, a Stoic teacher who profoundly influenced Epictetus, wrote that we should not use our words to command, but to persuade and to teach. When a woman uses his memory as a standard, she is persuading herself that what they had was special, and that persuasion is proof that she is not over him. Here is the bottom line. If a man is seeing even 2 or 3 of these signs, he is not forgotten. He is not even close to forgotten. He is a presence in her thoughts, an unresolved chapter, a name that keeps surfacing when she does not expect it. But here is what he needs to understand. Just because she is thinking about him does not mean he should chase. In fact, the worst thing he can do right now is get desperate. Show up in her DMs begging for answers. Overanalyze every little move. Because here is the real secret. The more he is living well without her, the louder he becomes in her mind. Every photo he posts where he is thriving, that is a reminder of what she walked away from. Every story where he is happy, that is making her question her decision. The best response is not bitterness. It is becoming so undeniably better that she realizes what she lost. Focus on building a life, becoming the version of himself that is undeniable. And if she is meant to come back, she will. But he will be in a position where he gets to choose what happens next, not her. That is real power. If you are seeing these signs, you are not forgotten. You are living in her head, and understanding that is the first step toward reclaiming your power. The philosopher Seneca wrote that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Do not waste your time chasing someone who is already thinking about you. Instead, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Build your life. Grow your presence. Become undeniable. And when she realizes what she lost, you will be in a position to choose what happens next.